Hey guys, we're gonna go through, get these notes for tonight, and be ready to go for tomorrow. We're building off of what we've been doing. We're adding an inequality. So the name of these notes are compound inequalities. A little bit of new things, but all things that we can do and be very, very good at. Okay, the first part. Sometimes you'll be given problems, and they'll have the words and. It'll also have or. Okay. Um, if the word and is used, the number line will look like this, and you can see I just gave an example right there. Notice that I used for my example I used a greater than or less than or equals to sign because I have the filled in circles here, and when for or I used the less than or greater than signs. So again, these are just random examples. What I want you to get from this is if you're using the word and, you're going to have basically two endpoints, and then you're going to shade in between those endpoints. So x is between two numbers. If you use the word or, you'll have two numbers, but x is either going to be smaller than a number or greater than a number, so it goes out in both directions. Again, these first two things right here, if you can use those, it'll help you on the problems. Now, let's just go through a few examples and show you what I'm talking about here. Example 1 says x is less than or equal to 14 and x is greater than or equal to -2. So on our number line, okay, I always put 0 somewhere around in the middle. And okay, one of our numbers is going to be 14. One of them is going to be -2. So -2 is over here on this side of 0. 14 is over here on this side of 0. This is less than or equals to, greater than or equal to, so we're going to have solid circles. So you can see I have solid circles. And it says x is less than 14, so that's where we shaded in right here. X is less than 14. It says and x is greater than -2, so x is greater than -2, and you can see the lines go in both directions. So in this problem, I would have shaded in right here between -2 and 14. That's what x can be. It can be less than 14, but it has to be greater than 2. Excuse me, greater than -2. Example 2, same type deal. Now we have the word or. Okay, so let's set it up. I got 0 because I always put 0 there. In this problem, actually one of the numbers is 0. So we have 0 and -4. We have 0, -4. Okay, our signs are just less than and greater than. So they're going to be open circles. So you can see the open circles right there. And okay, this one says x is less than -4. So at -4, I'm taking my line out here. And this one says x is greater than 0. So I'm going to take my line out to the right. X is greater than 0. Number 3. Okay, this says -10 is less than or equal to x, which is less than -3. So let's get our lines, our point on our number line. I always put 0 in there. So we have 0. Okay, then the next 0 I have -3, and then out here I have -10. Okay. X is greater than or equal to -10. So that's going to be a solid circle because it's greater than or equal to. X is less than -3. Again, just less than. Doesn't have the line underneath there. So that's going to be an open circle right here at -3. Okay, x is greater than -10, so we're going to be shading this way. X is less than -3, and we're going to be shading this way. So we're shading in between 10 and -3. Okay, number 4, same steps, except now they're wanting you to solve. So it's a solving graph. So the way we solve these is you have to set it up, and I use lines just like we did with our equal sign to solve. Now you got two different sides you're working on. You do the same steps to both sides. So m is in the middle. It says 2m minus 1. So we got to get m by itself. We want m by itself. All right, first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this -1. So what I did, I added 1. So +1. And so if I'm going to add 1, I got to do it to both sides. So +1, +1. So I got 3 plus 1, which is 4. I have 9 plus 1, which is 10. And then added 1, those 1's canceled off. I'm left with 2m. All right, now, again, we got to get m by itself. So I'm going to divide by 2. divide by 2, divide by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2's cancel right here. I got m in the middle. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. M is solved, so I'm going to bring my sign back down. This was a less than sign. This was a less than sign or equal to. Okay, now it just becomes like we did up here on 1, 2, and 3. All right. Yeah, I always put 0 out here. You don't have to, but I always do. 2 is right beside it. 5 is out here further. Okay. At 2, it's just a less than, so that's going to be an open circle. At 5, this is going to be a filled in circle because it's less than or equal to. You got the line underneath right there. All right. And M is in the middle, so I'm going to shade between 2 and 5. Number 5 over here, same type deal. We got or in the middle, so you know if it says or in the middle, if you go back up to the top, if it says or, it's going to have one going one way and one going the other way. All right, let's solve this one. Subtract 5, got x plus 5, so we subtract 5 from both sides. You have x is less than or equal to negative 16. Solve this side, okay? We had to add 5, so we have 2x is greater than or equal to 16. Divide by 2, so you have x is greater than or equal to 8. So you have, there's your two equations, that's why I have it underlined right here. You have x is less than or equal to negative 16, or you have x is greater than or equal to 8. They're both going to be solid circles, so when we graph them, they're both going to be solid circles. X is less than negative 16, so it means I'm going to go out to the left. X is greater than 8, so that means I'm going to go out to the right, and we got it graphed. 6, same steps, kind of like number 4. I split this thing up, give me lines to be organized. Again, we're solving for x, so what I did was subtract 5, subtract 5, subtract 5, subtract 5. Negative 15 minus 5, that's negative 20. Those 5's cancel right there. All I got is x in the middle. 11 minus 5 is 6. So there's my inequality. Just bring the sign back down. We have x in the middle here. So when we graph this, you got negative 20 out here. It's less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, so they're both going to be solid circles. And x is in the middle, so that's where we shade in the middle. Going to the next side of the notes. Translate. Okay, all it wants to do here is just translate. I went ahead and solved it and graphed it. Translate it. Okay, interstate highway. The maximum speed is 70. So you can't go over 70, so x has got to be less than or equal to 70. The minimum speed is 45 miles per hour. So minimum speed, x cannot be less than 45, so it's got to be greater than or equal to 45. All right. If x represents the speed, then write an inequality to express the condition. Okay, so x is less than or equal to 70, x is greater than or equal to 45. So x is going to be in the middle. So we can see x is greater than or equal to 45, x is less than or equal to 70. Graph that. We got 45 and 70. This, I made a mistake here. This should be a filled in. This should be a filled in circle right here. Should be filled in. And we shade between them. Shade between them. Okay, these problems give you the graph and want you to write the inequality. So I know that this is an open circle, so that's going to be, and it goes to the left. So that's going to be a less than sign. So x is going to be less than negative 3. X is less than negative 3. Notice both of these go opposite ways. And if you go back to the first page, we saw that that is the key word for or. So you have our first one we just already said, x is less than negative 3, or, okay, this is a solid circle, so that's going to be greater than, and it goes to the right, so that's going to be greater than or equal to. So x is greater than or equal to, and the number is 5. X is greater than or equal to 5. So you're just working backwards on these. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, you got 8 and 11, so you know x is going to be between 8 and 11. So x is between 8 and 11. This is an open circle, so that's going to be right there, just a less than sign. And you have a full circle, that's going to be just a less than or equal to sign. The numbers are 8 and 11. Number 10, kind of tricky, but what I can see here is you got one open circle at 9, so that means it can't be 9. 9 is not included. It goes to the right forever. It goes to the left forever. So I'm thinking or. All right, and both numbers are 9 here. And so x is less than 9 or x is greater than 9. But it cannot be 9. So x is less than 9, x is greater than 9. All right, guys, these are the notes. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll go over these. Have questions, make sure you get these. Hope y'all have a great, great evening. Later, guys.